Sophie Turner, a beauty influencer, had been steadily rising to fame over the past 5 years. With her charisma, impeccable makeup skills, and genuine personality, she garnered a following of over 5 million on various social media platforms. Sophie loved her fans and frequently interacted with them, feeling a sense of connection and community. However, she would soon discover that fame also brought its darker side. It started innocently enough. Sophie received messages from a fan named Alex, who praised her work and expressed admiration. Alex's messages were thoughtful and complimentary, and Sophie, always appreciative of her followers, responded with a polite thank you. Over time, Alex's messages became more frequent and personal, but Sophie didn't think much of it. She had many devoted fans who loved to share their thoughts and feelings with her. Months passed, and Alex's messages took on a different tone. They became more intense and, at times, unsettling. Alex would comment on everything Sophie posted, often within minutes. "You looked stunning in that dress last night. It suits you perfectly," one message read. Another time Alex wrote, "I noticed you were at Central Park yesterday. I was there too, but I didn't want to bother you. Next time we should meet." Sophie started feeling a little uneasy. How did Alex know where she was? She hadn't posted about being at the park until she was already back home. Her unease grew when Alex began sending longer, more personal messages. "Sophie, I feel like I know you so well. You're the only person who truly understands me. Sometimes I imagine what it would be like if we were together. I think we'd be perfect for each other." Despite her rising discomfort, Sophie tried to brush off Alex's messages. She had countless fans, and not all of them could be kept at arm's length. But Alex's behavior escalated. One day, she received a message that made her blood run cold. "I saw you having lunch with your friend Sarah yesterday. She's not good enough for you. You deserve someone who really appreciates you." Sophie's hands trembled as she read the message. Sarah was her childhood friend, and they had met at a small, out-of-the-way cafe that Sophie rarely visited. It wasn't a place she'd posted about. She realized then that Alex was stalking her in real life. Sophie decided to confide in her manager, Linda, who was immediately concerned. "You need to take this seriously, Sophie. We should contact the police." Reluctantly, Sophie agreed. She filed a report, but the police told her there was little they could do without concrete evidence of Alex's identity or intentions. Frustrated and frightened, Sophie began taking precautions. She hired a security team and made her home address and daily routines more private. She also stopped responding to Alex's messages altogether. For a while, things seemed to calm down. Alex's messages slowed, and Sophie began to feel a tentative sense of security returning. But one evening, after a long day of filming a makeup tutorial, Sophie was heading to her car in the underground parking lot of her building when she felt a presence behind her. Turning around, she saw a man standing in the shadows, watching her. "Sophie," he said softly, stepping into the light. It was Alex. His face was pale, his eyes wide and intense. "Why have you been ignoring me? I just want to talk." Fear surged through Sophie. She tried to remain calm. "Alex, you need to leave me alone. This is not okay." Alex shook his head, his expression desperate. "No, Sophie, you don't understand. We're meant to be together. I love you." Sophie slowly backed towards her car, fumbling for her keys. "Alex, please, just go." But Alex advanced, his eyes darkening with frustration. "You don't need to be afraid of me. I would never hurt you. I just want to be with you." At that moment, a security guard rounded the corner, and Alex froze. Taking the opportunity, Sophie quickly unlocked her car and got in. The guard approached, and Alex, realizing he was outnumbered, fled into the shadows. Shaken, Sophie drove home and called the police again, this time with a clearer description of Alex. With the security footage from the parking lot and Alex's messages, the police were able to track him down. Alex was arrested and charged with stalking and harassment. The ordeal left Sophie emotionally scarred, but she was determined not to let fear rule her life. She shared her experience with her followers, hoping to raise awareness about the dangers of stalking and the importance of taking such threats seriously. Sophie took a short break from social media to recover and focus on her mental health. When she returned, her fans showered her with support and love, helping her regain her confidence. She continued to create content, but with stricter boundaries and greater security measures in place. The experience changed Sophie. She became more cautious and private, but also more resilient and determined to use her platform to support others who might be facing similar situations. She knew that while fame could bring joy and connection, it could also attract those who didn't respect boundaries. And she was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, stronger and wiser than before.